While the hosts of Sisters in Arms have taken every precaution to ensure that the content of this program is both current and accurate, errors can occur. The hosts assume no responsibility or liability for any errors or omission in the content of this program.
The information contained in this program is provided on an as-is basis with no guarantee of completeness or accuracy. The opinions of the guests are not necessarily the same as the hosts.
Welcome to Sisters in Arms. I'm Kerrie Ann Auclair.
And I'm Renee Gagne, and together we serve as a Second Amendment resource for our communities.
And today's episode, I'm not exactly sure what number we're at anymore.
No.
I think we're in the 20s.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely
so
in the 20s.
Go with that. Today we're going to be talking about personal and home protection and how to create one. And I do a 2 to 3 hour class from Refuse to be a Victim, and also there's part of a USCCA class that has some great information too. But we're going to go into that and kind of give you a little bit of a brief glimpse of what that means and how you can come up with a plan. So why don't we talk about your friend, because maybe people would understand where we're coming from.
Yeah, okay. So I have someone that I work with. We're going to keep names out of it. And she had a home invasion. And it's really scary because you think that it's never going to happen to you, and you live in a nice quiet town that, you know, crime doesn't really happen. So you think that you're immune to this. But home invasions, I looked it up today, the FBI, there's some pretty alarming stats. 2.5 million burglaries take place in America every year, and 1.65 million are home invasions.
Yeah.
So that's pretty scary.
It is scary.
A burglary is when you're not home usually. A home invasion, they consider it the homeowner or someone being in the home when someone breaks into your house.
Yep.
So this person was home 10 days before Christmas with her 2 children, and it was around 6 o'clock at night, and she heard a knock at the door. She wasn't expecting anyone. She went over to the door, looked out the side window, and saw a woman who she didn't know. And so she looked further, and she saw 2 men with guns, you know, leaning against the house, trying to not be seen. So she instantly ran for her cell phone, which was upstairs. I don't believe she had a house, you know, a line for the house at that point. It was just a cell phone. And she never made it up the stairs. They kicked the door in. Her door was locked. Because that was my first question. Well, didn't you lock the door? Oh, yeah. But they kicked the door in. The door, right on the floor.
Oh.
So she had 2 little children. I want to say at the time they were 1 and 4 or close to that. Pistol to her head, babies down on the ground. She said for at least a half an hour, they were demanding the money. Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? Now this is in Rhode Island, Smithfield, Rhode Island. Like, you don't hear about this stuff in Smithfield, Rhode Island. About a decade ago, I believe at this point it was about a decade ago. So, you know, she didn't have any money. She didn't know what they were talking about. Her husband was away at a Christmas party. So there she is alone with the 2 kids. And so they just kept screaming at her. She thought she was gonna die. She soiled herself, right? Like never ever in her life had she ever had something like this happen, obviously. And to have your 2 babies be subjected to this madman. 10 days before Christmas, stealing all the presents. Not that she cared about that, but I'm just trying to paint the picture of what's going on while the pistol's held to her head. She thought she was going to die. She just kept praying to God. And she said, I think after about a half hour, which felt like much longer than that, after they cleaned her house out, they left. Come to find out, they had the wrong city. They had the right address, but the wrong city.
Can you imagine?
And the police officers ended up putting the pieces together later because they hit the same address at the different city, that they were looking for. And it was drug related. So it was drug money they were looking for, and it's just so sad. I mean, thankfully she wasn't physically hurt, but it was damaging to her psyche.
And her kids.
And her children. Holy moly.
I can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. Because we've had this discussion before, and I live in a small town, kind of dense into the woods and stuff, and a lot of people don't expect, to have home invasions, and our town has actually had a lot because we've had a lot of houses that are in the woods, and they're kind of secluded. It's off the highway, so it's easy to get to.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Location is everything.
Location is everything. So just because you think that it's not going to happen to you, it could.
Right.
So.
Well, more statistics that I found, this is even more alarming. 75% of burglaries happen when no one's home. 25% of Americans have a residential security system. So that means 75% of us do not.
Yeah. And then if you want to go into it further, front doors 34% of the time, back and screen doors 22% of the time, and first floor window 23% of the time.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into that too, but that's pretty scary. I get goosebumps listening to stuff like that because you just don't know.
Yeah, no one's immune to this.
No. And before I got educated to everything that we do, I remember when my kids were babies and I opened the door to a woman who was lost, and I had my baby on my hip, and I think about this often because when I shut the door, I'm like, well, that was weird. She gave me a weird look, but I don't know if she was intending to do something, but didn't expect me to open a door with a baby on my hip. And I looked in the car and I could see that somebody else was in the car. So I don't know. It could have been just innocent. I'm lost. I'm scared. I need help. Can you help me? Tell me where I'm going. But you just don't know, and that's something that you just don't do. You don't open the door to a stranger.
Well, I mean, these guys were smart. They put the female first, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You're going to let your
She's
guard
the
down
decoy.
when you see a woman because you assume that the woman isn't going to be a criminal.
Or
do we
be a
assume
threat.
that? Right. Why do we assume that? I don't know. It's just what we do. We don't look at women as threats the way we look at men.
No. And that's why they have they have decoys for that.
And we talked about that in past episodes. You have to look for another one. They travel in pairs, groups. They usually don't do this by themselves.
No. So
can we talk about your barefoot feet?
Oh yeah, I forgot my one heel, so I took off my boot, and I said, well, I'll just go barefoot.
So you had an injury, a crushing injury from an
from an ATV accident on my foot, and so yes, it's been almost 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love how much you're getting done with one bum foot. You're getting a lot done. It's been months now, right?
Yep. Haven't stopped.
Yeah.
Got to keep going.
Awesome.
Yep. Thanks, Dr. Shem.
Well, listen, then can I kick my shoe off?
Yeah.
Can I kick both of mine off?
Yeah, you got pretty painted
Okay,
toenails.
let's see. Okay,
Here we go.
Here we go. All right, here we go. All right, back to business.
Okay.
This feels so much better.
I know. So, home protection plan. So what the heck does that mean, right? So a lot of times people just think, well, lock the door, you're safe, but I can't tell you how many people don't lock the windows on the first floor. They have an air conditioner that somebody can push through, get in, it's on the first floor. And what if somebody did break in and for some reason you were able to get your kids and yourself into a safe room? And so we talk about that a little bit. What is a safe room? So I don't know if you want to discuss that or if you want me to, but
when you're talking, I'm thinking about how I tried to get into a loved one's house a couple weeks ago. Couldn't find the key. Front door was locked as usual because he totally believes that when he's not home, the door should be locked. I grabbed a ladder from beside the shed, crawled up to the little deck that was off the bedroom. I could see the sliding door was open, climbed up the ladder, psh, right in the house.
Yep.
Took 1 minute
One
in
minute.
the house.
And you don't think about it. You don't think about it.
Yep.
So developing a plan really is, and it's not necessarily being paranoid. It's coming up with a scenario. Okay, so let's just talk about that. Let's kind of create a scenario. So you're a bad guy. You want to get in because maybe you found out that I have something you want. And you're trying to get in. So I'm going to walk around the house acting like I'm a bad guy. And I'm going to look at all the windows. I'm going to look at the doors. I'm going to look at how can I get in. And I'm going to try that. I'm going to try it.
Oh, so you're going around your house thinking like a bad guy.
Right. Thinking
Okay.
like a bad guy, walking around, looking at maybe the bush in the front yard is too big and it's covering up some spots that could be a really good hiding spot.
How many people have overgrown shrubs in front of their house that they can't even see out their window?
Right. And you know, we're going to be talking about that too, because shrubs, if you notice that some houses have like rose bushes with the thorns or shrubs with the thorns, there's a reason behind that. Because nobody's going to be able to go in there. They're not going to want to go in there. They're going to
Right.
get cut. They're going to be like, ow, ow, ow.
Yeah.
Not a very good hiding
It's
spot.
going to act like barbed wire.
Right.
Or,
So you want to kind of look around. Is your house well lit? So my house goes dark, but as soon as you go near my front door, I actually have a camera that starts alarming. Weir, 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 so I can hear.
yes, that happened when I dropped something off the other day. And I didn't tell you I was coming, and I left it on the front porch, and all of a sudden I hear this alarm, and I'm like, ah! I knew you couldn't get to the door because your leg, right? So I'm like, tiptoeing away thinking, oh my gosh, I'm on camera somewhere. But it was loud. I could hear it outside.
Yep.
So if that was a bad guy, he
It
would know
would've
right away
startled
he
him.
tripped something.
Yep.
And is it linked to the police? He doesn't know.
No,
But he
and
doesn't
I
know,
like
right?
it. And my husband reset the cameras, and the alarm came back on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I like it. Leave
Yeah,
it, because I
it's
can hear
good.
it in the back,
Yeah.
in the front, and the side.
Right.
So I know it goes off a lot. Sometimes it could be a cat or a squirrel, but you know, if I'm by myself when
Yeah.
I was on the couch and I couldn't move,
Yeah, for
it
sure.
made me pull my camera up and look at pull my phone up and look at the cameras. So you kind of want to put yourself in a situation where you create scenarios, and then you walk around and kind of come up with ideas of, can I get in this way? That ladder's too close to the house. That's a perfect opportunity for someone to get up high. Because a lot of times people are on the third floor and they don't think. They're like, I'm on the third floor. No one's going to be able to get in the
That
house.
could be a fun game to play on
Yeah.
the weekend.
I'm
Say
the
to your
bad
loved
guy.
one, yeah, hey, let's play cops and robbers.
It's funny.
Right, but that is a good drill because
Yeah.
you don't think about it.
No, you don't think about that. And then with the Refuse to be a Victim class that I teach, there's a lot of great information in there, but I mean, that's like a 4-hour class. But we also talk about how, if you live alone, especially like an older woman, or just a single parent even, and let's say you don't have a dog, put a dog sign out, beware of dog, put a dog sign up, because they don't know, right?
Right.
Some people actually have alarms in the house where it's triggered and it sounds like a barking dog, and it's really not their dog.
Right.
So you don't know. Putting a dog bowl outside, big man boots, go to the Salvation Army store. If you buy Savers, get some cheap man's boots, the biggest boots you can, put them in mud every now and then, make them look fresh, put them outside near the front door, near a sliding glass door. And so when someone is trying to do something bad, they're going to see, oh, I thought she lived alone. Oh, she doesn't.
And these guys pay attention to detail
Yes.
too. They want the
Move
path
the
of
boots,
least
too.
resistance.
Right.
They're going to pick a house that is going to give them the least resistance. If they think there's a dog, a man, a security system, all of those things, they might move on to the next house.
Right. And some people have made suggestions, and this is my opinion, I would not do this. Some people put firearms in the house, or they put stupid signs like, I dare you to come in. Those are just like silly, stupid signs that are ridiculous. Because first off, you're then telling them, hey, I have firearms in my home.
Yeah, you're telling the criminal that they can break in and steal your guns, and now they'll have guns. I don't know if I would do that.
And not to mention legality reasons. If something did happen and there was a critical dynamic situation in the home, And then the judge is probably, you know, they're going to pick apart everything. They're going to be like, well, that's kind of an aggressive sign. So obviously you meant to kill him because you just said it in that sign. You know what I mean? So there's things that you don't want to do.
And it has happened. There have been cases where things like that have happened.
Where, you know, people are just trying to, you know, protect themselves, and you think having a sign like that is going to make a difference. But
well, the thing with the dog, the woman that I work with, she had 2 dogs.
Oh, they let him out, right?
Yes, they let him out the back door.
Yeah.
Because I said to her, okay, so where were your dogs?
They were little
dogs?
dogs?
She said, no, they were not little.
Oh, so they weren't, they were like, hey, how you doing?
Oh, yeah,
Come
they
on
were,
in.
they
I'm
were
gonna
smart.
lick you.
These guys are smart.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
smart.
Yep. That's scary.
Thankfully, they didn't kill them.
Yeah. I mean, as you know, I had several big dogs before in the past, and they were big babies, but you come near that house, and boy, oh boy, they bang on the window, barking on, spitting on the window. Who are you?
Right.
Mailman.
Right.
You know. We can also talk about cameras, because if you're renting a house, chances are your landlord is not going to set up a security system in your home. That's something that you're going to have to do on your own. However, putting a sign out like that that says warning, security, you're on camera, something like that, smile, you're on camera, beware of dog, you know, there's all sorts of stuff, you know, stickers you can buy. So there's a lot of things that you can do, especially if you're renting a house. This is a fake camera.
Or even if you're not renting a house, if you own the house.
Yeah,
right.
And I mean, we have a security system set up.
You could do the ring. The ring is very
ring
popular.
Is
very inexpensive too.
And this is a fake camera.
Really?
Yep. So
oh, it says it right on it.
Yep.
Let me
imitation
see
camera. So I mean,
oh, look at that.
It's kind of nice too, because if let's say you can't get to a
imitation. It says it right on it.
Yep.
I didn't even know they
you
made
wouldn't
that.
be able to tell because it looks real. So I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do.
Hey, listen, it's easy to install with no wiring. Hey, you don't say.
You don't say. Yeah, and then we're going to talk about real quick about your friend and that guy that kicked the door open. A lot of times those doors, when they're like a house is built, the little screws, they're not long enough.
Yes.
So it's easy to kick in your door. So when you do buy like a lock of some sort, they come with tiny screws. Replace them and put longer screws in there. That might be a good idea to check your doors now and see how long the screws are, because that can help with someone, you know, kicking in your door. I mean, there's so many different locks now, deadbolt locks. These are also nice too. That's the door security guard.
But you can have all these locks if your door gets kicked in, it doesn't matter, right? So like you said, it's important to look at the integrity of the screws that were used.
Right. There's so much
to
it. There's even this here. This is for a sliding glass door. So this is a patio security door. I guarantee that people are probably watching this right now going, I don't have that. And it could be just a simple
My sister made one out of a piece of wood.
That's it. That's all you need to do. You know, and then you slide in it, because those doors are very easy.
Well, plus they're glass. Throw a brick through it, right? I mean, if you really want to get in, you're going to get in.
Right.
Glass doors are...
I think the new ones now are a little bit better than what the older ones were.
So you'd have to use a bigger boulder.
Yep, exactly. Oh, we got so many things. But locks, again, there's so many different types of locks you can buy. Oh my gosh, look at all my goodies.
Do you think lighting, illumination, exterior illumination is really important? Like, that's your first line of defense, because the minute they're walking towards the house is lighting up.
So that's what I'm saying, at night. So don't just pretend you're the bad guy walking around your house. Do it at night and during the day. So then you can realize, oh, that's a good hiding spot. Because when you pull in your driveway, you let your guard down. I'm home, I'm safe. I can put my firearm away. I don't need to worry about it. I'm okay. I'm in my safe zone. But people don't realize that if you're being stalked or if you're being followed, they're going to stalk your home. They're going to try to find.
They're in the bushes waiting.
They're in the bushes. They're in. So when I get out of my car, the first thing I do is it's just a habit. I look this way. I look that way. I look behind me. I have woods on the side. I look in the back. I open my gate. My whole entire patio's dark. I mean, it's actually lit up, but I mean, the backyard's dark unless I walk by there, and then everything lights up like a Christmas tree.
And
but
we both live in homes that you can see from the road. So if someone wants to look at your pattern and see, like, okay, there's no cars in the yard, no one's home, you know, like which cars are cars that are being driven every day.
Right.
So when you live close to the road where people can visually see your patterns, you're even more at risk.
Right.
Right?
And this is kind of a neat lock too. So this is one of those locks where you can put in, so like sometimes people have used like a credit card or something to slide in. This prevents that. So these are really, all this was at Home Depot. You know, just ask where the security locks are, where the security aisle is, and there's so much that you can buy. It's just absolutely crazy. There's also like sticks that you can stick underneath the doorknobs. It's actually made for that, and you can make it longer or smaller. So if you have like a back door that maybe it's downstairs in the basement, you have a security lock on, but you want to have a little extra security, that's something. And mine actually has a battery, so if it does move, it actually barks like a dog.
Really?
Yeah. Yep, somebody gave it to me. I'm like, this is cool.
That's
or I can
cool.
put an alarm on it or barking dog on it. It's really awesome. But honestly, probably Amazon or something, you can get all these things from.
Right.
So also we're talking about safe rooms. Glow sticks.
Tell me about it. Because those you can get at the dollar store, right?
So in a safe room, technically a safe room should be a room that has a door that's a little bit stronger door than the rest of the doors inside your home. So if it's a bedroom or whatever room you decide to have as the safe room, some people will actually replace the door and put a metal door on it. I know that sounds like I'm being extreme and paranoid, but there's a reason. It's a safe room. It's a room to hide while you're in your room with your kids. They're on the other side of and maybe you're able to get out.
You're waiting for
911. You know, you're waiting for help.
Right.
They're in the closet. You know, you're putting the bureau in front of the door, whatever you got to do, but what's in the safe room? It's a safe that has a firearm if you choose to have a firearm. It's a place where you have everything readily available. They even have safes where you can actually, so the phones that let's say you've traded in your phone, and instead of giving that phone away, if you can, keep it, because you can always call 911. It doesn't have to be activated. So if you turn it on, it says emergency call. If you swipe it, you can still make that call from any phone, regardless if that phone's activated or not.
Right.
And don't quote me on it, so you might want to just double check and make sure that that phone has that capability, but most of the time, from what I've seen, it does.
So it just needs to have a charged battery.
It just needs to be charged, but it's something that you don't want to keep charged all the time because you will burn it out. So charge it, put it in your safe, check it on a regular basis, shut it off, check it on a regular basis.
So maybe like you check your other tools to safeguard yourself, like your fire extinguisher.
Flashlight, fire extinguisher.
Right. Like fire extinguisher, you don't even think about it, right? No one thinks about it. They buy one, oh, I'm being so safe, I have a fire extinguisher.
Right.
I looked at mine the other day, I'm like, this thing expired 5 years ago.
Right.
I can't even believe that time had passed.
It might still work.
Right, but you really
just like
want to take
pepper
the
spray,
chance.
but you want to take the chance.
Right.
So in your room, your safe room, you can have a safe with a firearm. You can have several safes with several firearms. But in your safe, you also want to have an extra set of keys to your home and your car. Can you guess why?
Because your keys may be down in the kitchen on the key rack.
Right. And then if you're able to get out.
How about one of those ladders that you throw out the window?
Yep, that's good. So the reason why we have glow sticks is because, let's say you did call 911.
I know where you're going with it.
Yep, you can just take this, tie it around the keys, and throw it out in the yard and tell the cop, I threw my keys, look for the glow stick. So that means that the cop doesn't have to kick in your door if it's not already kicked in. Maybe they broke in through the window.
Right.
That takes time.
Right.
All they have to do is unlock the door and get in.
Very nice.
So it also is a good idea too. So let's say you happen to take your car keys, wrap it up in a glow stick, throw it out the window, and you were able to get everyone else out, but you got stuck inside for some reason. At least now they can get the keys.
Yeah.
So,
but the important thing is when the police arrive, you know, they don't know who the bad guy is.
No.
You could be the bad guy calling them first.
Right. But at least if you know, so that's why it's important that if you are able to have someone else in the room to record what's going on while
Right.
you're on the phone,
Right.
that is so important, because we don't know who's in the house,
Who the players
and
are.
who the players are. What are they gonna play you? Are they gonna say you did something?
Right.
So I mean, this is just a snippet of a 4-hour class.
Right, and this is a refuse to be a victim class.
Well, that and then the concealed carry and defense. There's some information in there at the end. There's
So-
USCCA, not that particular class, but USCCA
Okay.
has little mini classes that particularly go over home defense.
So for the person who says, I don't want a firearm, there are other tools I want to use, I don't want to use a firearm. This class has nothing to do with firearms.
No,
Right.
it's just
This would
teaches
be
you
a fantastic class for, I mean, firearm or no firearm, this is a fantastic class.
Right.
Yeah.
because it goes over situational awareness, and then it goes over other things like, well, I don't want a firearm, so what other tools can I use? We got
Right.
pepper spray, we got a personal alarm system. There's so many different options that you can have in your home. I mean, this is a small pepper spray.
How about
but-
from a nursing perspective, if you have anyone in the home with any type of health risks, diabetic, seizure folks, anything like that?
Yeah, that's part of having
hypertensive,
all
have
that.
your medicine there.
And a first aid kit.
Right, and a first aid kit.
Because you don't know
absolutely.
where you could be getting into this escape room or your safe room,
And you
and
don't know
you
how
could
long
be
you're going to
injured.
be there. Right.
You know, you could be severely injured, and at least it gives you some time or something to try to protect yourself or
Right.
whoever's with you.
So my thought is, that's all fine and dandy if you can get to that escape room.
And you
But
always
if
have to
you
have a backup
can't,
plan.
right.
You know, so they call us, I know we have a few more minutes, but to go into it, so it's called POGO, pants on, gun on. So if your pants are on, your gun is on. So that's kind of the same concept, and it's been proven multiple times that because somebody did have a firearm on the hip, even in their home, where they had a home invasion or they had someone break in, they had access easily available, you know, to have a firearm. So I just can't believe that we got 2 minutes. It's just crazy. I can't believe it. It's just like,
Did we get through everything?
probably not. But I have to tell you though, there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. And this is just to kind of give you guys a basic understanding of the importance of providing, coming up with a personal safety plan for you and your family, you know.
You know, another statistic I got from the FBI was homes with no security systems are 300% more likely to be robbed
With no security?
with no security system.
Oh, yeah.
So why would you not put a security system or put a sign saying that there is one?
Yeah, because they don't know.
Put one of those fakey imitation ones
There you go.
that doesn't require wiring,
Yep. Oh, and I wanted to.
right?
So this is kind of cool too, real quick. This is a 2-door window. So if the windows are open, if they break the windows open, it
instant
alarms.
alarm there.
Yep. So
Very nice.
so much. We got 1 more minute. So oh my gosh.
We got one more minute.
got
Why
one
can't
more
we
minute?
cram in
So-
1 minute?
Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any questions, please reach out to us, sistersinarms2022@gmail.com. Anything else?
No, I mean, you train. That's the thing. There are so many opportunities out there. If you're looking for opportunities, don't know where to start, firearm classes or not firearm classes, let us know. sistersinarms2022@gmail.com.
And
We can guide you in the right direction.
Stay
So
safe,
stay
girl.
safe. Be vigilant.